कौन है कौन है
There is a scary game currently trending called Red Door, Yellow Door. I'm going to show you an example of someone doing it, then I'm going to explain exactly what they're doing.
Red door, yellow door, any other color door. Red door, yellow door, any other color door. Red.
Witchcraft in Africa, real skinwalker, man turning into cow.
It's literally filming the training of real killer clowns, and it's terrifying.
Welcome back to High Frequency Chaos. I have another bone-chilling one for you today, found from all around the web. I got some disturbing and paranormal activities to show you. Grab your blanket, let's get diving. Alright, viewer discretion advised during these next two clips. I do not advise any of you do what you're about to see right here. The red room, yellow room, have y'all heard about that? We're about to dive. Let's go.
Door, any other color door. Red door, yellow door, any other color door. Red door, yellow door, any other.
The people you see in the game were having a sleepover and they all decided to play the game Red Door, Yellow Door. And of course it ended really bad for them. This is one of those games that you should never play. It's called Red Door, Yellow Door, and normally you need two people to play. One person acts as the guide and the other will act as the traveler. The traveler will lay down on their back and place their head on the guide's lap. The guide will take their fingers and rub the temples of the traveler. While the traveler holds their hands up in the air, close their eyes and repeat the words, red door, yellow door, any other color door. Traveler will then end up in a trance where they will be able to see multiple doors that are normally the colors red or yellow. However, there's a lot of other color doors that a lot of people have seen. Once the traveler enters one of these doors, the guide's job is to make sure that the traveler does not get in trouble. The guide is supposed to wake the traveler up in case the traveler runs into any type of entities. There's one entity everybody talk about. They call him the Hat Man. If you see this entity while you're traveling, be sure to not hesitate to wake the guide up. It's very important for the traveler to let the guide know what they see, like stairs, clocks, or just random people. Warning, do not go up or down any stairs. Do not look at the clocks while you're there. Now, if anybody or anything walks up to you and asks you for the time, do not give them it. It's up to the guide to tell the traveler to wake up. But luckily, nobody will have to worry about that because it's just like I said, never play this game.
Alright, we're about to dive into another clip on the red door, yellow door. Yo, if any of y'all play this, let me know in the comments. But hell, I ain't playing this. Let's go.
Red Door, Yellow Door. There is a scary game currently trending called Red Door, Yellow Door. I'm going to show you an example of someone doing it, then I'm going to explain exactly what they're doing.
Red door, yellow door, any other color door. Red door, yellow door, any other color door. Red door, yellow door, any other color door. What do you see? Any other doors? A yellow door. Where's the... Don't go down them. Don't go down. If they go down, don't go down. Turn it back around and get out. No, turn back around and get out. Wake up. Guy, wake up.
Chanting red door, yellow door, any other color door will set them into a trance. A timer will then be set for 10 minutes because they shouldn't be here any longer than 10 minutes. They will then see a hallway and the person massaging their temple will guide them through this hallway and ask them if they see any doors. If they feel good about these doors, they can walk in. If you see a room full of clocks, you must leave immediately because it will trap you in the room. If you see people, especially a man in a suit, walk away because this is a sign of evil and bad news. And if you see stairs, do not go down. You have to go up.
These are the top 5 scariest videos I found online. I bet you can't make it to the end of this video because the last one is wild. Number 5. Possessed chef. This man looked to be working his normal job in the kitchen. Cooking, making food, and then suddenly he starts acting bizarre. As if he's possessed. As you can see, he kind of goes into like a zombie-like state, standing over hot boiling grease and seems to be wobbling. Yeah, I'm not showing the rest of that. But yeah, he did what you think he did. Anyone ordered a fried facial? If there's one way to get rid of pimples, that is not it. Before we get to the next one, can you heart this video for me? I work hard on these videos. And I love you. Number 4. A woman named Carrie says she started experiencing weird activities in her home. She would hear strange noises, and her stuff would even be moved. So she decided to get a security camera for when she's not home. One day she got an alert on her phone, and this is what she caught. A dark figure can be seen approaching the person sleeping on the bed. Moments later, it quickly darts to the left, just before the lights come on. Look, if a ghost is gonna be in my house, at least pay rent. Please. That's the least you can do. I got bills. It just tastes like, your mama's booty. All honesty, I'm sorry for eating in front of your face. Just because I made you suffer, your 5th at has to buy you food for the rest of this week. Let me know who it is so I can tell them to buy you food because I said so. Number 3, a man looks out of his window and sees something scary flying at him. In my opinion, it's a witch, but what do you guys think? So check this out. A team of investigators go to investigate a place called The Cage that is located in the UK. Now, for over 400 years, it was a prison that held women who were accused of witchcraft. Now, they started to conduct a seance in the basement. And look what happens to one of the team members named Debbie's face. Her smile elongates, eyes turn black, and then it just goes back to normal. Now, Debbie recalls this never even happening. But during that time, she felt itching and burning down the back of her neck. After this, for weeks, she could not sleep and was having terrible nightmares. Y'all better stop messing with them demons. Stay home. Start a family. Stop this. Stop it. A man is upstairs in the gym in the middle of the day. Starting his workout, he's stretching, and then he sees a medicine ball move suddenly. Now, I guess he got a little weirded out of this because he was like, okay, I'm out. I don't know what moved that ball, but I'm out. That's That's when all of a sudden his foot gets dragged up from underneath him by what seems to be some sort of invisible entity. He darts downstairs to the bottom gym and tells security and begs them to let him see the footage. Now, I don't know how you fake something like this, because it looks legit to me. Should I do a part 2?
What's that sound? Can you hear it? From over there.
Witchcraft in Africa, real skinwalker, man turning into cow.
So, I don't know if this is a birth defect, CGI, AI, is that a fucking tail?
Aquí están mis hermanos.
What the fuck?
Y desde hace rato se quieren dormir, pero están viendo la misma cara que yo. Es lo que me temía. La verdad es lo que me temía y no sé qué hacer. No se pueden dormir. Y vean aquí está cuando yo trato de
staring at something.
no hay nada. No hay absolutamente nada.
Yo, sleep paralysis is real. Shit like this does happen. It used to happen to me.
¡Ay, cabrón! ¡No manches! ¿Qué era eso?
These are scary videos you should never watch at night. Okay, so the video I'm about to show you shows a kid who was home alone one night when something or somebody started knocking on his door saying it was his mother. But the thing is, his mom wasn't even home because she was working the night shift. And the way it's knocking and sounding make it sound so demonic. Let me know what you think this is because it's absolutely disturbing.
Gabe? Gabe? It's your mom. You should come out. You've been in there for so long. Gabe? Come out. Gabe? Gabe, it's your mother. You should come out.
Then what's your name then?
So I don't personally believe in the use of sage, but people do when it comes to twatting.
I'm not
evil
afraid,
spirits.
man.
I believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Come on out, man. Oh, fuck yes, fuck yes.
whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
These are the worst of the worst videos on the internet explained, and today we're starting with Funky Town. Before I begin, never look this video up. This is a massive trigger warning. The video begins in some sort of room and music is playing. The first song that plays is Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses. And the camera pans to the victim on the floor with plastic wire. And the torture had already began before the video started, because the victim looks like he's already been through complete brutality. His hands have already been cut off and his face has been completely flayed, which means skinned. There is no skin on the victim's face at all, and his eyes have been gouged out. And there is an insane amount of blood all on the floor. But the most messed up part about this is that the victim is hooked up to some sort of IV, and the IV is pumping him with drugs to keep him alive. And completely aware, making sure he feels everything that is happening to him. At the start of the video, they try and slit his throat with a farming sickle and press it against his jaw. But when the victim begins to scream, they shove a box cutter in his mouth to shut him up. His screams are absolutely gut-turning. They kept going from screams to gurgling, from screams to gurgling. As the video progresses, they take the box cutter and slit his throat about 40 times. And keep in mind, the victim is still alive and aware of everything because of the drugs they are giving him to keep him alive. Also, the cartel members are mocking and laughing at the victim the entire time. They then continue to try and slit his throat with the box cutter and were going at his neck numerous times. All while the song Funky Town was playing in the background, hence the name of the video. The cartel members kept having to physically restrain the victim, meaning that there was still a lot of life left in him. And the amount of pain he had to be in is completely unimaginable. At one point in the video, a cartel member has his foot on his chest holding him down, and another time they shoved a pole in his mouth holding him in place. But the worst part about the video is towards the end, where the victim manages to loosen his arms from the restraints and immediately tries to touch his face. But remember, the victim has no hands to feel, no face at all, and no eyes to see. The victim was most likely in so much shock that he likely forgot he had no hands, but instinctively the victim still tries to touch his face. It's absolutely horrifying, and the video then concludes. Also, keep in mind the victim was still alive when the video ended, so who knows what else they did to him before he died. Because they were just keeping him alive to torture him. What makes Funky Town so horrifying, besides what happens in the video, is the mystery behind the video. We don't know the victim's name, we don't know why he was being tortured this way, or what he did. The only thing that we do know is that it took place in Mexico, and it's extremely horrifying to watch. You can make an argument that nobody has ever been tortured this bad in history. Funky Town is definitely one of the worst videos out there, and I don't recommend watching it ever. But to start off this series, Funky Town has the first spot.
So what are your thoughts on Funky Town? That's the first time I've dove into this subject. These dark web stories or occurrences is definitely trippy and devastating. Let's keep diving.
Right now, school balloon video. But before I show you the video, let's get a couple things out of the way. So I found this video because you guys kept tagging me in it, but before I could even get to the video, the actual poster of this video has gone private. So you can't even see the original video anymore unless you follow him and he accepts your follow request. But fortunately, one of you guys saved the video and sent it to me, so thank you. So in the video, Skiboy states that he works as a janitor at this school that was built on top of a cemetery.
I usually don't record while I'm on the job, but this is freaking me out. It's sort of unreal. Here at work, I'm here in the janitor's closet. Yeah, let me just show you guys. Just to, I don't know, let you guys know this school was built on a cemetery.
Then proceeds to walk to this classroom that's filled with balloons.
Until tonight, I was in here cleaning up after some students had thrown a party.
However, it is when he reaches this balloon that something really creepy starts happening, and this happens.
What's been freaking me out is this one right here. No matter where I'm at in the classroom or what I decide to do, it just follows me. And do your thing, you stupid balloon. I got you on camera now, so let's just, see? That right there. just... Ooh, okay.
Do y'all think he's pulling that with a string? Or is something paranormal happening here?
See, no.
Let me know your thoughts.
It just follows me. What? Ooh. No, I can't.
So as you see the balloon following him, you can see a dark shadow running in the background. But listen, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Like, do you guys think that ghosts can move random objects like that? Because me personally...
What locals did to this man's family was pure evil. This was the real-life Pennywise. In 1954, Victor Lane was a kind clown who performed at the Black Hollow Carnival in a small Ohio town. But Victor's life had always been full of pain. As a child, he lost his family in a mysterious fire that destroyed their home. The townsfolk called it an accident, but Victor overheard men joking about how the freaks got what they deserved. Despite his scars, Victor became a clown to bring happiness to others. But Black Hollow never welcomed him. They called him Creepy Smiley and spread rumors behind his back. One October night, a group of boys at the carnival decided to humiliate Victor. They set his tent on fire during his performance, destroying his props and leaving his face badly burned. The crowd laughed as Victor stumbled into the woods, his costume in tatters. After that night, the town changed. Children began disappearing. Parents would find red balloons tied to their doors or balloon animals on their porches. The mayor's son vanished after a balloon was tied to his mailbox. Some claimed they saw Victor's shadow in the woods, his smeared makeup and scarred face visible under his tattered mask. A search party found a shack deep in the forest with old carnival props, burned family photos, and a mirror etched with the words, "Who's laughing now?" But Victor was gone. Now, every October, red balloons appear around Black Hollow. Locals say it's a warning. Victor hasn't forgotten, and the clown of Black Hollow always returns. And every year, someone
I don't know if that's real cap. That's the second one I've seen like that. Let me know what y'all think.
Filming the training of real killer clowns, and it's terrifying.
Christ. Yeah, like, you know. Remember that goofy vulture? You think you can do that in slow motion? Yeah, we're real. Come on, that's it, you got it. Your whole body's like a bunch of loose bones.
I hate clowns. I don't know about you.
How about a little sidestepping? Do something like this where you just kind of...
Yo, those clowns look mad creepy, don't they?
Oh, some lady, her husband, and then wrote a children's book about it. Damn. You know about this? The name of it is Are You With Me? And this was a book to help kids like cope with a loved one, right? So this happened recently, 2022. Mm-hmm. Her name was Corey, and she had a husband named Chris, right? Yeah. So the night that he died, Corey set him up. So she made him like a drink before they went to bed. It was like a vodka drink, but she laced that shit with, damn, right? What the records also shown that she actually tried with her husband many times before that. Because the husband wanted a divorce.
Oh, so she was trying to like end it before.
Yeah.
Fuck, so she can take the money.
Exactly. So literally, I think the day after she laced that her husband, she threw a party for her big deal clothes and like all the money that she got in.
Wait, hold on. After her husband died.
The day after, she threw a party for her success.
Damn, that's
the week after, she wrote a book. Fam, she sold it and it actually did really well.
It's like a New York Times bestseller.
That's absolutely nuts. Have y'all heard of this story before? If you have, comment below. And if you're liking the content so far and you're new to the channel, sub up. You could always change your mind later, and I hope you don't. But welcome to the chaos. All right, let's keep diving.
So apparently this surveillance footage captured 2 crimes at once. The first crime being a kidnapping. The second is committed by this lady who spilled a gallon of organs or blood. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
These identical twin sisters were pure evil. In the quiet town of Bloomsville in 1952, there were 2 identical twin sisters named Taylor and Dory. They seemed like ordinary, sweet girls, but behind closed doors, they were evil. One day, a new girl named Mary Jane moved into the neighborhood, and the twins grew jealous. Mary quickly became popular, and the attention shifted away from them. The twins didn't like that. One evening, they invited her to a tea party in the woods. The next day, Mary was reported missing. Weeks passed, and rumors began to swirl. The town grew suspicious, but no one could prove anything. Until one night, the twins' mother named Anaconda heard them whispering in their room. She pressed her ear against the door. What she heard sent chills down her spine. "We need another one. Mary wasn't enough." Terrified, their mother opened the door to confront them, only to find the room empty, except for 2 dolls on their beds. Identical dolls with the faces of her daughters, and a third one with Mary's face, staring right at her. The twins were never seen again. Some say they still live around the area in the forests, looking for their next victim.
I didn't ask her this, so I think that it's time to show who I am now.
December 23rd, 2022, one day before her birthday, 22-year-old Jacqueline Durand was approaching the house she had been hired to dog sit at when she wasn't taking classes at the University of Texas in Dallas. A sign the homeowners had above the entrance would give an ominous warning, one that would go unnoticed. And so Jacqueline walked right into what would become a living nightmare. Immediately after entering the front glass door, and before she could even close the actual second front door, the 2 dogs in the home, a German Shepherd named Lucy and a Pit Bull named Bender, rushed directly towards Jacqueline, violently bringing her down to the ground, causing her to drop her cell phone, and then dragged her from the front door all the way into the kitchen. At this point, the 2 large dogs pinned her down and mauled her face, ripping off her ears, nose, cheeks, and lips to the bone. These dogs were actually so violent and bloodthirsty that they ripped apart and tore off all the articles of clothing that Jacqueline was wearing. Now, fortunately, because Jacqueline was not able to actually close that second front door, it triggered a home security alarm, and so eventually local police showed up to the property, as seen in this footage.
I see her feet right there.
First responder body camera video shows the 2 dogs who attacked her, holding the police at bay.
Once police made their way inside, Jacqueline was ultimately rushed to a nearby hospital and underwent multiple operations. The first one, which was an emergency surgery, lasted 7 hours, and she had to be resuscitated on the operation table multiple times. Now, the couple that owned these 2 dogs, Ashley Joe Bishop and Avery Bishop, offered no help and no financial assistance to her whatsoever. Since this incident, Jacqueline acquired a lawyer, and this couple has been served a lawsuit. Also, the 2 dogs involved in this attack were ultimately ordered by a judge to be euthanized. Jacqueline says to the public she does not want to be seen as a victim and only an example to other dog owners to know your dogs, take more precaution, and just be careful.
So, I am personally afraid of pit bulls. I got attacked by 2 pit bulls by my friend's house. One latched on here, the other one here. I'm not saying all pit bulls are bad, and for those who have pit bulls and you have you train them properly, they're fine. But in this instance, this lady was going over there, the dogs knew her, but in a fit of rage, the dogs attacked her. You never know. Be careful, dog owners. If your dog attacks someone on your property, you're totally responsible.
Do you girls like to read? Do any of you like to read? No. No?
I'm inserting! I'm dead. I'm done. Yeah, but you're dead. Yeah, you keep going. Alright, that's it.
Frostbite.
Yo, if I saw those men talking to my kid, you best believe someone is going to jail. It won't be them. It would be me. Best believe that shit.
So what? Okay.
This is Chelsea Shipp, a TikToker charged with murdering a 16-year-old girl. I have to say allegedly throughout this TikTok because there's been no full verdict yet, but let's examine the story. So before the story came out, Chelsea Shipp was a normal mom posting videos on TikTok sharing her life with the world. And from the outside looking in, she looked like your average Texan girl. She often posted videos with her daughter like this one.
No, you're supposed to have one boyfriend. I have two. You're supposed to have one boyfriend. I got two boyfriends.
And it should be noted that Chelsea's account is still on TikTok. I don't know how they're letting an alleged murderer still have a TikTok account, but yeah, it is still there. So at one point in her life, Chelsea started dating this man, Cody Arnold. And at one point in their relationship, Chelsea found out that Cody had been dating an underage girl. This girl was 16 years old and Chelsea was seemingly fine with it, which is a disturbing twist in its own. But at one point, Cody came to Chelsea and said, I think that Caitlin, the 16-year-old girl that I'm dating, is pregnant. This is Caitlin right here. She was only 16 years old when she died. And before her death, Cody had been grooming and essaying her a lot. So after finding out that her boyfriend's 16-year-old girlfriend might be pregnant, Chelsea decided she's not going to let that happen. She feared that if people found out about this, Cody could get in major trouble. Obviously, he would have. So on March 26, 2022, when Chelsea, Caitlin, and Cody were all hanging out in the same mobile home, Chelsea decided to take matters into her own hands. She grabbed a gun from the house. She walked right up to the 16-year-old and shot her point blank, killing her immediately. So at that point, Chelsea tried to hide the body. She contacted a friend, asked if she could use their car to do some things, and then she admitted to a friend that she had killed the girl. Now, one of that friend's family members was actually a police officer, so she immediately contacted the family member. They went and searched Chelsea and Cody's trailer home, and they found the body of 16-year-old Caitlin and a bullet casing right next to her on the bed. Chelsea tried to make a run for it, and she was arrested over 200 miles away in Liberty Hill, Texas. But these two are now awaiting their trial. I am really excited to see them go away, hopefully for a very, very long time. This is a disturbing crime. And it goes to show that even the friendliest, most smiley people on TikTok can hide some of the darkest secrets imaginable.
People are calling this case the Incest House of Horrors. This case comes with just about the biggest trigger warning for the most horrific things you could hear. It was October 2023 in the quiet Polish village called Koniki. An arrest was about to happen which would shake the small community. The true horrors of what had been going on under everyone's noses were absolutely chilling. Peter Girasik was 54 years old. He and his wife Hannah had had a staggering 12 children together. Hannah had passed away 15 years prior, leaving Peter to look after the children on his own. Now, the house that he lived in was far from ideal for such a huge family. Locals were also often concerned about hearing cries and screaming from inside the home. They knew Peter had a close relationship with his 20-year-old daughter, Paulina, but they had no idea just how disturbing things were getting inside the home. That was until local workers at a cake shop nearby tipped off social services. They had serious concerns about what was going on in the property, and they were right to be worried. When officers arrived at the home, they could smell something absolutely potent. Upon closer inspection of the property, they found decomposing dead babies in the basement. 2 of the tiny bodies were wrapped in plastic bags and 1 was just lying on the floor. Now, at the time of the discovery, Peter wasn't actually living in this house with all 12 of his children. Some had escaped. He was living in the house with his daughter Paulina and his disabled son Damien. It would later be revealed that sometimes Damien was seen sat outside the house crying. He told officers that his dad would have S with his sister, so the dad's daughter, and regularly chase Damien out the house and beat him when he wanted to do this. Damien was abused and was given little more than cold rice to live off. Horrifically, police discovered that the deceased babies in the basement were actually the product of incest. The 3 babies found in the cellar were believed to have been killed just after they were born. Frustratingly, Peter had actually been on the radar of police. He'd been investigated 5 times over allegations of incest. He was arrested finally by police, and his daughter Paulina was also arrested. Thankfully, many of Peter's children had managed to flee, and his one daughter, Cassia, referred to him as a monster. He's now facing charges of murder, incest, and R.
There are some really sick people in this world. We already know that. We have been diving into this type of content, since this channel began. There are so many victims out there whose stories need to be heard and who needs justice. Let's keep diving.
Unresponsive right now. He got something coming out of his mouth.
What do you think is coming out?
I'm not sure what it is. I know he likes to eat his own poop and lay in his own pee all day.
Everywhere, everywhere, the usual, might I add. I've been dealing with this for probably since he was 2 years old. He's been doing this. Yeah, and so I'm very tired. I ain't slept in 3 days, so I'm just sitting there. And here he come rolling down the stairs again, ba-doom, ba-doom. So I told him to go back upstairs. A little while later, I go up there. I see a stick in his ass, like a chair leg. So I asked him, what is he doing? And he's just steady, you know what I mean? Just steady doing what he do. This ain't the first time he tried something like that. So I see blood on the ground, and I asked him to pull it out. You know what I mean? Blood squirted immediately. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, hurry up. You need to get downstairs so I can get you in the shower. You know what I mean? And see what's going on. So at the time, I didn't think nothing of it. I just see that he bruised up as usual. Seeing he never stopped. They find any type of way, anything to use, just to put a bruise on his body. So as a parent, I just put him in the shower. I put him in the bathtub to try to, get some of the swelling to go down or whatever the situation may have been, clean him up, make sure he was good. So I'm sitting on the couch. He like, Dad, come here. He like, Dad, help. So I come upstairs to help him. And that's when I noticed his body was cold, very, very, very cold. So I took him downstairs and tried to rinse him off, to see if he'd shake out of it, wake up. I had no clue of knowing that he was sick to that extent, or that this is gonna go anywhere near this far. I mean, I just figured he was doing his normal acting out. I mean, he was kind of tweaking a little bit, you know what I mean? But, yeah, as far as just, you know, like this. This is my way of describing it, you know, just like this. But this is something that he done pulled for many years. I mean, all the time, damn near every day. Every time he don't want to have his way, this is what he's pulling. Can't get him to eat his breakfast. He don't want to eat his breakfast. All he want to do is eat his feces. So I'm like, all right, at this point, there's nothing I can do but let him sit there and lay down. Okay. So, like I said, he said, Dad, help. And I came up the stairs. That's why I'm shocked. Right now, I'm not even crying or nothing. I'm just like in shock. Like, my child really dead? How? You hear me? Is what I don't understand. Now, I know them girls didn't do nothing to him and kill him. I mean, I just don't understand it. I'm very serious. That's where I'm at. It was shocking. Yeah.
Al seems to be laying the groundwork for a narrative where his abusive actions can be painted as reactions towards a difficult child, which brings us to Al's discussion about Dakota eating his own feces. What you're about to hear now will make a shiver run down your spine.
So that's an extensive long clip there. If you want to see part 2 of that, let me know in the comments and I'll bring you part 2 of that horrible, horrible story.
So if you didn't know, this woman's name is Brianna Williams, and what you just watched was her reaction to finding out that the police had discovered her sinister secret. So back in early November of 2019, Brianna contacts the police in order to report her 5-year-old daughter, Taylor Williams, missing, stating that she had seen her the night before, but in the morning she was gone. Taylor's disappearance sent shockwaves through the community, and people quickly began looking for her, but she was nowhere to be found. However, weeks into the investigation, doubts begin to surface as detectives realize Brianna's story just doesn't make sense. Then, all of a sudden, Taylor's remains are found 400 miles away from her house, with investigators ruling that her cause of death was starvation, meaning Brianna had unalived her. At this point, Brianna knows that the police had figured out what she had done, so she tries to unalive herself, but this fails and she gets arrested. In court, Brianna is found guilty of Taylor's death and is sentenced to a well-deserved life in prison. Brianna's story shows that you cannot escape justice and that karma will always catch up to you.
Alright, that wraps up another one for the HFC podcast. Thank you for being here with me as we do this deep dive into the paranormal and disturbing videos found all across the web. For all of you who are new to the channel, and for those who been here with me, thank y'all. I love you, the real ones. Y'all know who y'all are. As always, stay safe, stay blessed in these dark, deceptive times. HFC out. Peace.